Well, hello, my friends. It's me, KP. Welcome to my studio, The Moon and the Maker, home of Art Foamies. And I'm here for ArtFoamies Fun Friday. I always get it mixed up, so I don't know what I'm here for. Something fun. Anyway, Cindy, welcome. Nice to have you here. Wendy is here. Kay, Christina, Megan, Anita, Mary Lynn, Catherine, Dee, howdy from East Texas. She says, well, howdy from Missouri. Lamo. That's where I'm at. Sharon is here. Bernadette, Pam, Deb is here. Happy Friday to you. Pam Shales is here. Patty's Vintage Shop. And she says, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Patty. Puffer, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Gabby is here. And I just received your package today, Gabby. I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to do a reveal at the end of the month. So, and everybody who, I know this is a little bit of an aside, but anybody who's waiting on something from me, it is mailed out today too. Terry Moore is here. Welcome. Dana is here. And Carmen. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. So, we do have a special guest coming to join us tonight. Sarah Matthews is going to be in the house. And then later, for those of you who would like to join us for the after party, if you are a patron of mine, you can come and join us for the after party. Sarah is going to be over there visiting with us this evening. So I'm super excited about that. You all know that I love Sarah and love her art. And we do have a few new things from her this evening. So I'm really excited about that. I do also want to talk a little bit about the Halloween pop-up shop. It has been amazing. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys love Halloween. and we have loved putting it together. I have been having so much fun in my Halloween journal, playing with the Halloween stamps almost every day, which I know, for me, it's different because I don't usually do a lot of Halloween stuff. So I've been having so much fun with the imagery and the colors. I hope that you all also are seeing everything that Megan Quinlan's been doing. Oh my gosh, just so many fun things. Danita Art, she is sharing hers. I think she just received her ArtFoamies. We were a little bit behind with that, so be watching Danita's page for her shares. Anyway, it's just been a great pop-up so far. I hope you're all enjoying it. And so that will be continuing all throughout the month, okay? But for tonight, our special guest is Sarah Matthews. And so I'm going to turn the camera around and share with you Sarah's new collection. It is not very big, but it is mighty, I will say, okay? So something completely different. I'm going to turn this camera around and we're going to check out Sarah Matthews' new ArtFoamies. I know she has a lot of followers and fans here. Something a little bit different too for Sarah. So I'm really excited about it. So let's just get straight to it, okay? Again, there's not that many images. There's only five large, and then a set of them smaller, okay? Because Sarah's doing something really special. I think she's going to talk with us later about how she was invited for this art fest that she's a part of, and she actually designed their logo. So that was really cool, and I can't wait to hear more about it. And like I said, she said she's going to pop on over here tonight, so hopefully she will join us in just a few moments, and we can chat with her too. I need to step away just for 1 second. If you don't mind, I'll be right back, okay? Thank you. I am so sorry about that. Yay, hello. It's Art Dar Mariano. Nice to see you. Thank you. We love Art Foamies too. Oh, Sarah, is Sarah, no, Sarah, is she here? I didn't see Sarah yet. Did she jump on here and I missed her? Sarah, are you here? I don't see Sarah. If she jumped on here and I missed her. Um, Linda Finney. Yay. Artie Dar. Yes, I love that name. Anyway, I don't think Sarah is on here yet, or if she is, I don't see her. I was supposed to actually send her the links, and I forgot. So Mr. Moon is taking care of that right now, and then we're just going to talk. We're going to talk about Sarah and talk about her stamps. I'm going to show them and show you what I've been doing. I hope, I'm not 100% sure. I won't lie to you. Um, I'm not sure what Sarah has done with them so far. So I am so hopeful that I get to see some of her samples. I know she had, I know that she will be or has been, making with them, but I'm just super excited to see what she's done because I don't know about you all, and I hope you all follow Sarah, but I love her printmaking style. She just has a way. It is so unique and so different and very Sarah, which I love. That's when you see an artist and you immediately recognize them, it's because you see their voice, and I think it's just awesome. So I actually have a couple of Sarah's originals here in my studio, and I do love her style. I think it's very free. I think it is very bold, and again, so very Sarah. So without any further ado, I am going to introduce to you Sarah's collection. Again, there are just 5 large and or 5 larger size art foamies, and then a set of the 5 in a smaller size, which I also love. Okay, so I put these here. I don't know if you see these. These are the words from the art foamy poetry sets, because these are the names of her flowers. So this one is called Love, and here I do have them stamped out here for you to just see the stamping. Okay, so this one is called Love. And I'm sorry, that's kind of pale. I don't know if you can see it that well, but hopefully. And I'll be stamping these. Oh, and you know what? I think my autofocus. Let me fix my autofocus really quick here. And get that off. And there's those darn lights again. Hold on, those strobe lights. Hold on one second. All right, does that still look okay? I have to turn off my overhead lights. Valerie, hello. Joni Coleman, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming. So anyway, this is called Love. Okay, or am I right? Yes, Flower Love. We have Flower Hope, and I love this. I know it is kind of, just one of those really simple stamps, but super fun. Okay, it has a little center that comes out, so you can stamp it, together as one piece, or you can stamp it separately, and of course you can use the little polka dots separately as well. So this is a really fun stamp, very graphic, and a little bit different, but it still somehow goes with the collection. It's really a fun and unique collection. This one is called Flower Kindness, and so I have the word kind here. Heather Bailey, welcome. Yes, I love these. I can't wait to, I didn't do a lot yet, but I can't wait to share with you what I have done. So again, really just cool. So excited to watercolor these. Again, this is called Flower Kindness. This one is Flower Joy. And I love Flower Joy, not only because it's just a cool flower in and of itself, but if you look at this, you will see the value. Even like, look, if you don't get any other flower of hers, I would say, I think you should get them all, but if you only get one, this is the one, okay? Because this can be used so many ways, and I am excited to share with you how what I'm thinking and why I would choose this flower. Okay, I hope you can see right away that you could do it where you color this as the flower and these 4 as the leaves, or you can just stamp this all in green and cut it. If you're doing fodder, these are fantastic for fodder. Okay, because you can stamp them, and I did make a few fodder pieces, but you can stamp this again and and just make leaves out of it. So it's really good. Anyway, that is Flower Joy. Then we have Flower Power. And I love this too for lots of reasons. I know Heather says, come on, who can just get one stamp? I know. But you know, if you have a lot of restraint, right? Yes. Artie Dar says, play away. I see it on old textbook pages. So yes, her stuff, because of, again, the carved sort of nature, I do think that these really lend themselves to that sort of overstamping, because again, it is very free and very, you know, non-perfect. I don't really know. It really allows you to, um, I don't know. I think it just gives you a lot of permission to be imperfect, but in such a, um, you know, such an artsy way. Anyway, I love this one because now to me it doesn't read flower, although when it's stamped with everything else, you know, in a bouquet or in the context of florals, then it's going to take on a flower. Okay, but the thing I love about this too is that it can be a great sunshine. It can be an eyeball. So you know, one of the things I love to share and talk about, um, and I've always done it with my, you know, with my rubber stamps. Long before really mixed media was kind of a thing, you know, like really the way it is today. I love looking at my stamps and, of course, my art foamies, to see how many different ways I can use them. So, you know, things will just come to me, as I start to, you know, just stamp them. And then Whisker Dance says restraint. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I think we're all kind of in the same club, right? Look, I love all this so much that I ended up buying a company. So I can't really talk. Anyway, so those five. So again, that is called Flower Power. And then, and I'm sorry, this has kind of got messed up, but this is all five of them together in a small set. So, would make a great alphabet. Oh, yes, it certainly would. I would love, we should recommend that to Sarah. Hopefully she'll come on or we'll see her later. And an alphabet like this would be amazing, Carmen. What a great idea. Anyway, so again, you got all five. Those are individual. Okay, so you got Flower Love, Flower Kindness, Flower Joy, Flower Power, Flower Hope. And so again, these are about 4 inches. Okay, so about the size of your hand. Okay, approximately, maybe a little smaller. I guess my hand would be 5 to 6 inches. So these fit nicely in your hand. I don't have a super tiny hand, but I don't have a giant hand either. uh, Heather Bailey says, I started watching this saying no more stamps and now I have favorites. Damn it. Well, yes, Sarah is many of you all's favorite. I have a lot of people that say Sarah is one of my favorite artists. And, you know, we just love Sarah anyway, just because she's cool, she's kind, she is a great artist, and she's generous. I don't know how many of you know this, but I taught, at the Queen's Ink back in June of 21. And Sarah lives, you know, kind of near there, but not super close. But she drove all the way over just to meet me, just to say hi and give me a hug. And that to me meant so much. I really can't say enough about how much that meant to me, for her to, you know, take her time to come over and, you know, to meet me in person. So I love that. Anyway, so again, 4 inches approximately. And then you have the set of 5 in a small size. Okay. And I still love it because that center does still drop out. Okay. So you have the small little ones, and these are about 2 inches approximately. Okay. So really, really cool. Please make sure that you do tell her how much you love them. And then I am going to share a couple things with you that I've been working on. And I wish I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I'd gotten a little bit further along with my, you know, with my sample art, but I've been crazy busy. So Yes, Artie Dar, fab art community. It really, really is. So, okay, I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to just pull out what I've been working on. Okay. So I did do some fodders. Okay. So I just stamped in watercolor. And of course, these are not finished fodders. I wanted to finish them, or at least a couple of them, with and for you. Okay. So we have, and this to me looks like a carnation. All right. But it, again, and I'm going to forget, I think that's love. Okay. This is love. And I do have it in a couple colors. I did it in a lavender and a pink. And then I did the flower kindness. I did it here, and this again is just my base layer. But I just cut it out. I know people have been doing the fodder school, and just cutting. Basically, I think in my eyes, what fodder is just a lot of collage elements, and you're just stamping it or creating it, cutting it out, and then you can go back and further embellish it. Okay. Um, yes, Gabby says the little Andy Warhol-esque flower, so cool. So I'm not sure which one you're thinking of is this Andy Warhol flower-esque, because they're all kind of giving me a 70s vibe. But this is the one I would think of if that were me saying it. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so I did it here where I stamped it in watercolor and I further embellished it. But can you see what I did here? I pulled out some of the color using the smaller one. So I love that too. So I didn't end up cutting this out, but I just wanted to share that with you. And then I have the Flower Joy stamped in a couple shades of pink and magenta. And Patty, yes, hotter fodder. And you know what? I think it's so funny because I said I'm my fodder's daughter. I want to start my own little fodder class because years ago I always used to call it fodder, and I didn't realize other people were even calling it that. So then fodder school came out, and then I felt weird about calling it that. So yeah, hotters fodders would be funny. And then I said, oh, I definitely am my fodder's daughter. But anyway, so here you can see why I said this would be a great stamp, because if you want to color these 4 in, okay, let's just do it real quick here. Let's move this out of the way. I'll take this one and just a little bit of a different color. Let's take some blue just to go over. And I'm just going to do a little paint over here. Okay, we'll just do some blue right over the top of my green. Just to switch up the color. I'm not necessarily saying that would be the color I would choose, but it will cover the green pretty nicely. And give that little bit of differential that we were wanting, because again, you can just color 4 of these petals and maybe do the center a little bit differently. Okay, so maybe we'll do a little yellow. Let's take a little Aureolin yellow here for the center. And then we'll just do, a different shade of green maybe. We'll do a little, let's do some green gold in the background on these 4. And then it sort of looks like you have just a flower, right, with 4 leaves. So you can do it that way, or if you're going to keep your whole stamp, your whole Flower Joy as your flower, okay, you can do that as well. Let's choose this one. This one has a little differential in the color here. I did a little darker violet sort of in the center of the flower. And then you could just take these. You could use it, of course, straight as a stamp. But I also like to cut out. We're talking about fodders, right? What did Carmen say? Marpy Hayes, welcome. Nice to see you. Carmen says white or gold dots in the negative space would make it pop. Yes, of course. Again, about the whole fodder thing is that you can you know, take your paint pens or your gel pens or whatever, and you can, you know, go in and doodle it up. You know, you can, I used to have a class years ago before I even did ArtFoamies, and it was called Doodle Your Stamps. So it's really a way that you can, you know, go in and again, change them up, make them sort of your own, put details, outlines, whatever you want, you know. So here again, I love the versatility of being able to take this image, this what is it again? I keep forgetting the names already. Flower Joy. You know, and it's so funny because I love names. I love naming things. I even come up with some really funny names for things, and I still can't remember. Anyway, so there you go. You have now your Flower Joy, and I was able to go ahead and, you know, take it and utilize it in a different way, give it more flowers, and, you know, making more fodders, right? So love it. All right. So this is again a way to, you can just stamp them. One thing I wanted to tell you too, and this is a great little, tip, something normally I would just share in my Patreon, but I want to share this with you. I love to use this. This is actually really nice watercolor paper, but it's only 90 pounds. So it's Fabriano Artistico, okay? And it's only 90 pounds. And I buy it in big sheets. And the reason I love this for fodders is because I can stamp all over it. So I can take whatever stamp that I want. I'm going to do this one again, just because I love this versatility. So let's go ahead. I'm going to spritz it up with a little water. Okay, water over here. Yes, Carmen, I'm seeing all the comments, and I hope that you are safe and, you know, have good shelter wherever you are. I'll be thinking about you. Anyway, I'm going to take a little watercolor here. I have some of my favorite Opera Rose, and I'm going to squeeze a little bit of this right onto my scrap buddy. And I have wet my stamp a little bit with my spray bottle, and and I think it does have a little bit of ink or Derwent or something on there. That's okay. I'm just putting down a little bit of that Opera Rose. You can also do things like take a little bit of color on your brush. So I have a little bit of quinacridone magenta, which is just a little bit darker. Maybe I want to even deepen my center a little bit more. So I just have a little blue here. So I'm going to take a little bit of blue, just deepen that center a little bit. And then I can go ahead and stamp. And I can do multiples, you know, at least get maybe, excuse me, sorry about that, a few stampings. I'll do 1, 2, this one will be a little bit lighter. And then I can probably spritz it one more time and get one that's even a little bit more pale. And then of course I can watercolor it. All right. And you know, you can switch up your colors a little bit if you want to. You can, you know, just have fun with it. Just play with it and let your watercolor sort of do its thing right on the surface of your stamp, and just give a bunch of stampings. Anyway, the reason why I love this paper, even though it is a little bit pricey, I won't lie, but it is great if you are going to be collaging, because it is nice enough to, you know, do more mixed media right over the top. I could use my acrylic paints. I can use, I can go in here and have a little bit of fun, maybe even with my Derwents or my watercolor crayons. Oh, let's see what other colors. Let me find a couple fun colors here. I have a, let's see, I got a pink Neocolor and a yellow Derwent. So, you know, you can just do some fun little additions right on here. And again, the paper is nice enough. It's going to take plenty of water if you want to continue to, you know, to color on this, and just have fun with it. Again, you can put your, you know, more watercolors. You can do, you know, pencils, acrylics, whatever. And you can keep layering on here, and it's going to take it, and yet it's going to be thin enough to cut really easily, and also to collage on without being too thick and unruly. Okay, so that's a little tip from me to you. Fabriano Artistico 90-pound watercolor paper makes great fodder stuff. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share with you, I'm going to do one of these real quick. Let's just go ahead. I'm going to cut myself a piece of this paper. Off here. So like I said, then I can go back in, I can paint on these and cut them out and have lots of little bits of collage. Or, you know, if you don't want that, if you don't want a fodder, okay, if you want to just stamp and paint, this is also great for that. All right. So yes, black and white. I will say, Heather, so much of Sarah's imagery, I think, looks great in black and white. Again, because of the nature of, you know, the organic lines and the sort of graphic lines. I hope that you've had a chance to see how she did her elephant wall. Has everybody seen Sarah Matthews' elephant wall? I hope you have. Excuse me. All right, so I have, again, a piece of this same paper, okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and let's just, I don't know, do you have a preference on which one I stamp? If anybody has a preference, let me know. Maybe, you know what, I think I'm just gonna do this one again. All right, let me just no, you know what, I think I'm going to do this one because I haven't stamped this one that much, and also I only have one color on here, so it won't get muddy. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in, oh, let's do a little magenta, or let's see, trying to think. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a little magenta. Round daisy-ish one. Oh, Gabby, I'm going to do that one in just a minute, and I'm going to show you another little sample that I did. I'm really happy. I think that actually, I know it's crazy, but it might be my favorite. Well, that and the one that makes a leaf. This one and this one are my favorites. This is so cute to me. All right, so I think I got this loaded up with watercolor. And of course, you know, let's go ahead and just for fun, let's make the center a little bit different color. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp this guy. Heather says, I have an idea for the one you're using now. Get out your sewing machine. Okay, I'm ready. Ooh, love it. Love, love. Okay, so now, of course, this would be so fun just to color in and, you know, go in, and you can sort of manipulate those washes a little bit if you want to. Just have some fun smushing that around, okay, and putting in some other colors. I don't love that color, so let's bump it up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna leave this. I can come back and, you know, just have fun painting this in. But first I think I'm going to take and I'm just going to paint all around the outside. Okay, and I want kind of a darker color. I guess I'll just use that same blue. Again, this paper, even though it is pretty thin, it's only 90 pounds, it'll take your paint and your washes so beautifully. And I don't know, I just want to have a little fun with this. I think I'm going to add a little green gold, just because I want a fun mixture. All right, and I'm going to go back over it again with a little bit more marine blue. And I'm almost, I think I'm running low on my marine blue. Let me see if I can, thought I had it here. I wanted to squeeze a little bit more on my tray, but let's see if I can get any out. I was trying to darken, I really wanted this outside edge to be a little darker. So I'm just going to keep layering color because if it's a little bit darker, when I go to pull some of that color out, it will show up better. Okay, so that's mainly what I kind of wanted to show you. If you don't like the way something, you know, looks or is drying, then you just want to go back and sort of, you know, play with it, watch it as it's drying, and you can change it up or fix it as it's doing its thing. All right, so anyway, now I'm going to take this one. I'm going to make sure that it's, and I will tell you, it might have a little bit of color on it. It's okay. I'm just going to take it wherever I see it starting to dry. If it's too wet, okay, it won't work that well. You have to sort of watch it for where it's sort of just starting to dry, where it's not super, super shiny, okay? Yes, Carmen says, I can see that design as quilted flowers. Yes, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. So I'm just going to hold it on there. You want a clean, dry stamp. Yes, Catherine, that's why I was saying I love that it could be an eye. It could be a sun, you know, like so, or a flower. So you can really, all right, so it didn't work perfectly there. A little bit, I think you can kind of see it. So again, you're just going to want to kind of watch for where it's drying a little bit more. Like this is much too wet still. Let me try it up here. And sometimes I will have to hold it for a little bit longer too, maybe, you know, 30 seconds to a minute. You can really see this, I think, pretty well. Even though it's not too dark, you can see where it really pulled up that color. And then, of course, you can also put color back down into it. So a lot of times tone on tone is kind of fun. If you wanted to put like a little bit of blue. Let me try that. Let's try it with a Derwent stick, just into sort of the wet. Let's go back over. So you can see it almost gives it like a little batik-y kind of look, you know? And I didn't get a very super even coverage with my Derwent, so it's a little bit sporadic, but that's okay. I kind of like the way that looks. I'm going to do it up here too, just because I didn't get a very good impression there. That's kind of fun. So you can see how that will work. Let's just go ahead and go all over. So that's kind of fun, and you know, an interesting technique to make it look like, is it a little bit more almost batik-y. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, I would just go in and definitely have some fun with this, not only with my watercolors, maybe with a little bit of acrylic, maybe with my crayons, watercolor pencils, you know, just throw the kitchen sink at it. I think a lot of the reason why I have so much fun with my art foamies is because I really allow myself to be, you know, as free and creative, and I don't really hold myself too accountable for the outcome. Generally, I will say I am generally happy with, you know, with what I make, but I don't have to be. You know, it's not, to me, it's not necessarily a prerequisite that I love every single thing that I make, but usually it works out. I will say that. Not sure what color. Oh, you know what? I might want to also a little bit more green, just to pull some of that, to have a little bit of the unity in there, because I have that green gold around the edge. So let's pull some green in here. Anyway, you know, I'm just doing this so I can have something sort of finished. I can't leave it half white like that, you know. Put a little of this orangey color. And then I definitely think, because you know me and my opera rose, I do need a little opera rose in there. And then, you know, these are all water soluble too, so I could go in and mush those. Let's get a little bit more color in these centers here. I don't know, just have fun, because that's the name of the game. Again, with that unity, try to unify the piece a little bit with color. All right, so super fun. I don't know. Let's see. What's the oh? This is, what's the name of this one again? I already forgot. That is Flower Power. I don't have. I think I have a word that says powerful. So I think that would be kind of fun to put on there. Um, Out of my Art Foamy poetry sets. Of course, I don't know where that word is right this minute, but that's okay. It doesn't also have to have a word, but I like adding words to my stuff. I don't know why, but it's sort of a thing. And then I don't know why, but something is telling me to put a little teal in here. So teal is what is gonna go in there. Don't you just love smooshing watercolor? I sure do. So I don't know. I won't lie to you. I don't know what exactly I will do with this yet, but I do like this piece, and I can see it definitely in a journal. I mean, it's a little fodderish. Anyway, I see it as a Southwest turquoise and silver pen. Ooh, yes. This small one, we could really do some fun things with, oh my gosh, you're giving me so many ideas right now. This small one would be amazing with the 300-pound paper. Okay, so maybe we'll do that over in our group sometime. I think that would be amazing. So yes, thank you for your ideas and for your thoughts. I hope that you enjoyed making this with me. I'm having a blast. And I can also see a little bit of white. Pull back out my white paint pens maybe and do a little something like that. I don't know. And anyway, I am gonna save this piece. I have 2 more things to share with you, and then we'll call it an evening, and we'll go over to our after party for those of you who are wanting to join me for after partying. I'm just going to show you how to make a quick and cute card using using these stamps. So here I do have a little fold over watercolor card. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fold that over. And I'm going to get my masking tape. I'm going to tape off my outside edge. This is so easy and cute and fast. Okay, so let's go ahead and I should have already taped this off for you, but I'm sorry that I did not, but at least this way you'll be able to see how fast it will be. All right, I'm going to burnish that down just to make sure that that edge stays nice. Okay, we want to protect that edge. Bye, Puffer. Deb, this color sticks I'm using, honestly, I don't know because they don't really have the color on them. And most of my numbers are already worn off, but they are Derwent Inktense sticks, and I have this like nice sort of yellow, sort of a mossy green, just like a cyan blue, and then I had this sort of pink watercolor crayon, or it's like a darker pink, and then a neo color that is sort of an orangey yellow. Yes, Artie Dar, thanks. I appreciate anybody who stays and hangs out with me, you know, for a makey. All right, so here I have my edges taped off, and again, I want to make sure that those edges are sort of burnished down because I don't want any ink or paint going on the inside. I'm going to take my small little flower out of the Sarah's Garden set, and this is the small one, the 2-inch one of the Flower Hope. Okay, and remember the little center comes out. So I'm just going to take, now last time I used a yellow, so I think this time I'm going to use a pink, and I am going to use acrylic, and I just have a little gesso, and I'm just using a little bit of white gesso, and the reason I'm doing that is only to mix with my pink. Okay, I could use my white acrylic, it's just that I don't have white acrylic right here. I happen to have that, so I'm just using that. I'm going to get my brush and my fluorescent pink here, and I'm just going to mix and make, I love the color pink that this makes. It just makes a nice, beautiful bubblegum pink, okay? So I'm going to load that up, and I'm going to get my scrap buddy, okay? And I'm going to ink up or paint up my small flower hope. And again, if you want to make it a little smoother, you can sort of brush like that, okay? If I dab, you can see that it sort of models it a little bit. So I'm just going to make sure that it's nice and saturated, and sort of just brushed on evenly, okay? And then I'm just going to stamp it willy-nilly, random, here and there. And I do want to re-ink or repaint in between. I don't have to every time, but especially if I stamp off the edge, because it will give it a different, it takes away paint more off of certain areas, so I want to even it out again, okay? So here, just going to stamp. Now, since I didn't go off the edge, I can do that again. It'll get a little bit lighter, but that's okay. I like that. And I'm going to do it again. And remember too, you can do things, for example, like get it a little bit darker around that center, okay, a little bit gradient. If you want to switch it up a little bit, okay, if you want the color to be just a little bit different, you can, you know, deepen it just to get a little bit of a differential. All right, so let's overstamp it there. And let's go ahead and load it up again. And you can stamp like all over, overstamp, overstamp, overstamp. So I think I'm just going to leave it like that. All right. Now I'm going to choose what I want to be in the center. Do I want yellow? I think I'm going to use, let's use just a little, you know what? I'm just going to do dark, a little bit darker of a pink there. That's what I'm going to do. Of course, you could do it gradient. You can, you know, like how it sort of gets a little bit of a light spot. You could also do little polka dots in the background if you want. But hey, I'm just going to take another color that I like, that I think complements this. So a beautiful green. You could do a beautiful spring green. You could do a beautiful teal. I have this beautiful blue. I was thinking green. Yeah, I could also do a darker, like an olive. I think olive would be pretty. I think I'm going to do olive. That's what's calling to me, right? So I'm going to take my just little filbert brush, okay? And I'm going to just really quickly, and I'm going to not go right up to the edge. I'm going to try to leave a little white space around them, okay? But, you know, if you want to go right up to the edge, that's great too, whatever. Just want it to be a little graphic-y, you know? Keep in mind, of course, you could be doing this with watercolor or whatever medium that you know, that you like. I like doing it with the acrylic on the paper. I think it is kind of a bold look. I think it is nice coverage. It makes it just a little bit more graphic-y. Acrylic wash would be wonderful to use with this, but the sort of the so flats do remind me a little bit of a gouache, so I like that. I like the flat coverage and the opacity of these. Oop, I got a little close on that one. That's okay. Could switch brushes, you know. I know many of you have watched me paint many times and have seen me just stubbornly stick to one brush. I don't know. It's not really the best, probably, example, um, but it could be more of a do as I say, not as I do thing. If you want to make your life easier on you, you know? All right, so I just want to go make sure that I got all the little spots. If you have some details that you know, would like to make a little bit, you know, I don't know, little finish off the details a little bit nicer, of course, you can switch your brush and go in and just do a little bit nicer and not have to struggle so much using a fat brush that's not really the right size. And of course, if you know, if it looks streaky or you feel like it needs another coat, then heck, go in and brush up, you know. All right, so that's good enough. I don't need to fuss about it. You want to make sure everything's good and dry before you remove your tape, you know, and that way you get a better sort of edge. Oh, that could have dried a little bit more, got a little bit of a craggy edge, but that's okay. I'm not going to cry about it. And I have to admit, I think kind of stamping the envelope to match, or at least putting a little envelope on there, and then putting a word right over the top. Let's do a little white. You can make such a cute little grouping of cards. This would make such a cute gift to give someone, a little 6-pack of greeting cards for them to send, you know. And I did have my word joy, and then here I have my happy. So you could have, like I said, a little set of happy, joy, love cards, and just do it in just a few different colors, and it would make such a cute little gift. You could tie it, put it with some envelopes, and tie it with a little string or raffia, and it would just be adorable, right? Super fun and cute and quick. Last but not least, and I know we're gonna have to go in just a few minutes because we're going to the after party. I did want to share with you how I started in my journal, and I did use, this is really fun. I used this jar. This is from Gypsy Soul collection from Gina Hubbard, and so I used her little open jar and then just a couple of the small stamps. And I just wanted to show you how I got this started. Do it really quick right here on just this scrap watercolor paper. Okay, so I did load this up with a little plain watercolor, and I used, oh, let's see, I did use a little of the cobalt teal. Okay, so just a little watercolor right on your scrap buddy. Spritz it up a bit. And see how nicely the watercolor covers that. Okay, and give it another little spritz. And there's the basis of my jar. I did, you know, it looks a little thick and opaque right there at the lip. So I did take just a little bit of water and I pulled some of that out. Now this is not good watercolor paper, so it's not as user-friendly, but you'll get the idea. So I pulled some of the color out there. All right, and I did go ahead and sort of let some of that wash around in there too. Okay, because remember, you can pull some of the color right off of your stamping. All right, and just sort of let it mush around in there. And then I also took a darker, could use whatever, your graphite sticks, your Derwents, your watercolor pencils, whatever, and I did go in and sort of just give it some lines going around, being kind of free like so. Okay, and then I took the smaller stamps. I took a couple of the little ones that look like carnations and a couple of the little one that I can't remember the name of already. It is kindness. So we got kindness and we got love. All right. And again, you can just use your same, I'm going to use watercolor. I don't want acrylic right now. I want a little watercolor. So just load that up with some watercolor and just stamp sort of willy-nilly. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp a few, and I'm going to switch colors here. Orange with my Derwent. Well, it won't be exactly the same, but you'll get the idea, okay? So I don't, oh, that looks kind of a little wonky. Let's go ahead and go up there. And another little half flower here. All right. So then I literally just took whatever stick and I just did some little scratches, okay, some leaf shapes, whatever. And then you can take your watercolor brush and just begin really having fun with it. You can go in. I, again, took some of my water and just sort of squished it around, okay, just to get a little coloration on there, and then took some different colors, not only with my sticks, but also with just on my brush. All right, and that's how I started, okay? That was the basis for this, all right? And then I'm not going to finish the whole thing, but I'll just start going around a little bit of water. And starting to pump up some of the background so that it will begin to create your, focal point here. Get a little bit darker on my brush and really just sort of give it some depth that way. And then of course, if you want it to gradiate a little bit more, just take water and smush it out. And I am working on a 140-pound watercolor paper out of a journal. This is that in and out page journal that I showed you a couple weeks ago. Maybe just a little bit in there for a little reflected color. And then I will go back up into my flowers, okay? And I will, is it Sarah? Sarah Matthews, are you here? Yay! Thanks for coming on. We're going to go over to the Zoom in just a minute, okay? I'm running just a couple minutes late. But anyway, I will continue. Now, you can do a couple things. You could actually take your stamp again and like load it up and, over stamp, and you'll get some really beautiful sort of, let's do one just so you can kind of see. Let me go in with a little bit of like a darker bluish purple here. I'm going to mix a little blue and a little bit of magenta right on my stamp here. And I'll just do a little over stamping. And I might not be able to over stamp it perfectly because I don't really remember exactly how I was holding it when I stamped it down, but you will get, again, a little bit of darker, and then those under layers will kind of pop through. And so you could do that, but you can also, of course, take, some of your other sticks, your watercolor pencils. I think I am going to take watercolor pencil maybe for this. See if I can find a color that is just calling to me. And it's kind of weird because it's dark in here because of that strobe light effect, so I can't see my colors very well, but let's see. So Sarah, I'm so excited to hear more about the Art Fest and to ask you about your inspiration, because I will say, I mean, and of course these are still your style, but you haven't done lots and lots of florals, so it's really nice to see, and I see a lot of other things in them as well. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and try this color. It is sort of it is carmine pink, so you could easily just go in and add some of your centers this way, and then layer with some of the white as well. You could also, let's see, I'm gonna use a completely different color. This is like a light blue, so maybe you want to do something like that. You can definitely really vary your colors, and I'm just using sort of her lines as a guide. I mean, if it's not perfectly matched up to her lines, it's okay, you know? Look at how, oh, I just love the way that is. Okay, so then maybe I want to go back over here and, um, again, sorry, having just a little bit hard time seeing in here, but pump up some of these lines, you know. Oh, no, that's not dark enough. I think I need like a red or... So anyway, you get the idea. It's really, really just about going back in and layering and continuing to build, you know, on your pieces. And this will, I think, when I'm all the way done, be really a fun floral piece, you know? And let's see, a couple more little touches before I let you go. Just wanting to finish this off a little bit. So maybe some brighter yellow, I don't know. Or maybe I just need to pump up around the outside edge again. Yeah, that'll really help too. And then, I don't know. So you can see how it will come together, right? Just with, you know, you continue to sort of add in your darker values and just smush some color here and there. And I think it'll really be beautiful when I'm done. I'm excited to continue working on it. I think over here I'm gonna add a little bit again of my go-to, just a little bit of the opera pink, and I'll work on this and finish it and share a picture um, on the ArtFoamies page, okay? Then for those of you, I want to say thank you again so much for joining me for ArtFoamies Fun Friday. I hope that you love Sarah Matthews' new offerings as much as I do. Very excited about this collection. Again, I think it's super, you know, it's not huge, which is nice for all of you because you don't have to make a lot of choices. You can just get them all. But I do really feel like it's a very versatile set, and you know, you can really get a lot of bang for your buck and a lot of fodder for your daughter. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight, my friends. Sarah, did you did you get the Zoom link? I hope you can come over and after party with us. I thank you so much for, let me turn this camera around. I just want to say, and I know it's dark in here, it seems weird. I'll turn the lights back on in a minute, but I just want to say thank you, Sarah, for your contributions to ArtFoamies, for being an ArtFoamie artist, and you know, just for coming tonight and for all that you share. All right, and you do bring more beauty to the world just by being you. And I can't wait to see what you did with these stamps. So hopefully you got the Zoom link and you can come over to our after party. We're heading over there now. Thank you everyone for coming. And you know the deal. Stay safe, stay sane, stay makey, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye, Catherine. Thanks for coming. I hope you'll Zoom with us someday, Catherine. Bye. Have a great weekend.